republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our prayer guy is in here, so Rob, you're the second prayer guy.
Father, thank you for this opportunity to gather together and discuss business of our township, Lord. Lord, allow us to honor you and glorify you in everything we say and everything we do. Lord, let us do the work that you assigned us to do. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Okay. Vicki, you want to call the roll?
Sure. Trustee Rivera.
Here.
Trustee Bonomo.
Present.
Trustee Conley.
Here.
Trustee Gerwin.
Here.
Supervisor Ballage.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Don't look like we have anybody
We
signed
have
up.
one person signed in. Yes.
Okay.
And that would be me.
Give me just 1 second so I can put my timer on, please.
Yeah, you can hold it. Get too old here.
All right, Sharon Suisse, please.
Thank you. Let me get situated here. A few items I want to address tonight. First is item 5E regarding ComEd's lighting program. Before jumping on the ComEd bandwagon, have you done your homework? ComEd's program uses kelvins rated at 5,000. Kelvin is the color output of a light fixture, and at a 5,000 K, it is a harsh white light. That will make the area look like it's high noon during the middle of the night. This amounts to ruining the character of where we live. It also violates the lighting ordinance, which states that there's a maximum of 3,000 Kelvin for all lighting fixtures. Regarding 7A, in the name of transparency, it needs to be addressed as to why the new levy is lower than when it was under Mr. DeVivo. That is because now the Township Road District only has about 18 miles or so of road to deal with. Under Mr. DeVivo, he had the responsibility of all the village and township roads. So please don't make it look like you're doing more with less money. Reference 8A. Residents need a detailed explanation of how you're going to assess the entire township in a calendar year. That seems near impossible, or are you just going to use some magic number given to you by Will County? Lastly, I don't see why the entire board packet is not posted online, similar to what the village does. That way, when residents make public comment, at least they have some background information as to what will be discussed. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sharon.
Okay. Clerk Boson, you want to do your report?
Yes, I will, thank you. First of all, I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. This is our first meeting for the year. Excited to see everybody here. First, I'd like a motion to approve the December 12th, 2022 monthly Township Board meeting minutes.
I'll start the motion. I'll second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
No.
Okay, motion passes. B, I had amended the minutes for October 17th and November 7th. If I could please get a motion to accept those amendments.
I'll start the motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay. Then here I am going to pass out the three executive minutes. Sorry, Steve. And if you can please make sure to hand them back to me.
Thank you.
And if you can please take a minute to look them over. And I'd like a motion on all of them. I'm going to just remind you if that's okay. Sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I just duly noted. You're welcome. There you go. You want to just take a moment, read those over. And we want to start with the first one, the November 23rd, 2021 executive minutes.
Hold on.
Sure, take your time.
Why don't you guys look at it, and if you have questions, we'll have to talk about them, but on advice of the attorney, we should not release
So
any.
the November 3rd and the May 19th minutes, guys, we have already accepted those, and we said not to release. For those two, October 17th would be the newest ones, the October 17th, 2022. So, I guess upon, like Steve said, the attorney's recommendation not to release. If, whatever you guys think, though.
Our usual procedure is we usually like to look at them first. Looking at these, I don't think I was at any of these 3 meetings, and I'm just seeing the minutes now. So my recommendation would be to let me or my office take a look at them. We can make a recommendation in an upcoming meeting if they can be released. But
I
for
100% agree.
today's purposes, I would recommend keep them confidential. You're not violating any Open Meetings Act requirements by
Waiting.
deferring to us or, putting it off for another time until we can look at them in more detail and to answer the questions you might have.
That's what you're here for, so I would agree
Okay,
that.
so if I can get a
That's my
motion to,
For all 3.
okay, let's start with the first one, the November 23rd. Someone can make
I will
that motion.
definitely start that motion.
And then to release or not to release, then, Mike?
To not release
Not
them.
release, okay. All right, and who would second that, please?
I'll second that.
Trustee Brown. And if I can, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion passes. How about the second one, May 19th, 2022? Can I get a motion
Motion as released. I'll second.
not to release? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay. And then finally, the last one, the October 17th, 2022 executive minutes. Can I get a motion for
I will start
that?
the motion not to release.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion passes on all of those. I just wanted to update everybody that we have decided to do the parade in conjunction with the Homer Fest. The parade will be on Saturday, June 24th, with a rain date on Sunday, June 25th. The last 2 Saturdays we were rained out, so we feel like it really worked out for our benefit to have that rain date in there. Pet Expo, we decided to name it the Pet Fest, kind of in conjunction with Homer Fest. And it's going to be Saturday, June 17th at the Kilmer Field right behind us here. And we're still working on that. So we're working with Homer Fest crew to get that going. The ARPA funding, we are still waiting for additional information on that to have that solidified. And then in regards to the ComEd, so I don't know, I personally think this is kind of exciting that we're able to upgrade our lighting under the ComEd efficiency program. It's going to be a 0 cost to Homer Township. Now, we did have a couple other people come in and give us estimates. Some people were looking to charge us in between $7,000 to $10,000 to have this done. This is going to be a 0 cost to Homer. This is going to be improving our indoor and just a little bit of our outdoor lighting also, but mainly this is for our indoor lighting. The township office was approved and valued at $10,999, and the town hall was approved and valued at $4,764. Total of savings of over $15,000 for the township. So we have received confirmation from ComEd that this should be happening hopefully sometime this month. And that concludes my report.
Okay, we go to my report. Thank you to all the trustees and the administration for all doing a good job and all the success that we had during 2022. And I'm sure that 2023 is going to be even better. And the next thing would be the highway commissioner, but before we go to him,
Steve, I'm sorry, there is something missing from this
that's what I thought.
agenda. Just grab it off the website, sorry about that, I don't know why.
This is what I printed from the office.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
okay, thank
And
you.
okay. This is informational only. Homer Glen Bell Plaza planned unit development to develop Lot 8 by Popular Property Group for a mixed commercial tenant building. It is with a drive-through and parking lot. And we have a plan commission, and the village has no problem with it, and we don't have any problem with it. We didn't take it to the plan commission, we just found out about it recently. Anyway, we don't have a problem, so that's why it's information only. We don't have a discussion on it because it's going to happen. Then we need a motion to approve a line item transfer from 819 IGA-snow removal to 845 building supplies in the Road and Bridge Fund in the amount of $20,000. So we're moving money
Repeat that.
from one line item to another line item.
Just to explain it real quick.
Yeah, why don't you give us a little more detail on it, please?
So last year, as you remember, there was an IGA drafted between the road district and Homer Glen to have them take over for that year the snow removal and tree trimming and mowing duties. That is going back to the township now in a new IGA that's being amended due to staffing shortages at the village. It's cheaper for us to reclaim those duties than have them rehire 2 people to do those duties. So the money we spent last year to pay the village of Homer Glen for snow removal and mowing is no longer needed. So because of that, we're going to move that money that would have been dedicated to those line items to something else.
Okay.
Okay? And the state statute says I have to do it that way because if I spend it on something else, I can't spend it on from those 2 line
It
items.
was,
So I can spend it on something else if I move it. So that's the 2 motions, this one that Steve read, and 11BII, which is the one for the tree trim. Okay?
well, I will definitely
We
approve.
got to call you on.
And who will second that, please?
I'll second.
Okay. And I will do a roll call on that. Trustee Bonomo,
Yes.
trustee Conley,
Yes.
trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Garwin,
Yes.
supervisor Ballage.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. And then for D, you want to?
Yeah, motion to approve line item transfer from 818 IGA to tree maintenance and mowing to 842 fuel/oil in the Road and Bridge Fund in the amount of $5,000.
I'll start the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. I'll take a roll call. Trustee Bonomo,
Yes.
trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Garwin,
Yes.
trustee Conley,
Yes.
supervisor Ballage.
Yes.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
motion passes.
And now we go to the Highway Commissioner, Brent Porfilio's report.
Yeah, to address Sharon's comment, yes, under Mike DeVivo, the road district included the Homer Glen miles. That was the first year. That was set before I started. In the 2 years that I've been there, there was a severe reduction, obviously, the first year, but that wasn't only because of the miles. There were a number of deficiencies in how we ran the road district that I won't get into. And this year, I'm further reducing the budget, another 22%. It has nothing to do with Mike DeVivo. So anyways,
And they're
item
picking
A,
up that other miles too.
yeah, we're at 21 miles now. So the budget for 23-24, it's in the minutes, or it's in the agenda here. It's 1.375 million, that's for both funds, the equipment and building and road and bridge. Last year it was 1.75 million, so it went down 22% for the same miles, but I cut more items. So the tax bill you get will show that reduction. 7B, the roadway program for 2023 is going to be bid out in March. Next month I'm going to be providing the board with what roads are going to be done. It's going to be about a mile long. 250,000 is my budget. Item C, the Smith Road Long Creek Run Creek Bridge. We did award the Phase 1 engineering to Christopher Burke Engineering through the state QBS process. It took us a couple of weeks. It was a joint effort between Lockport Township Road District, the City of Lockport, and Homer Township Road District. We are splitting all of the local funding. Right now it's set at 50,000 each over 3 years. That's before we get the invoices from the engineering firm. Change orders will have to be included and everything else like that, but that's what I'm thinking is going to have to be spent. I don't know if anybody's been over the road, but they're thinking of closing that bridge because of the issues that it has. Right now, we don't let trucks or buses even cross it. That's how bad it is. Item D, lighting program. There's a number of areas in the township that do not have lights, and they have a dangerous, unsafe condition on the roadway. Since there's no power available in many of those spots, I'm pursuing solar lighting to put in. I'm going to be getting bids next month on that. And there's also some roadways in unincorporated Homer Township where there are substandard lights. And those will be replaced with the standard LED, the way the rest of the Homer Township looks. So when we replace things, we have all the attic stock ready, so we don't have to order anything special. So all the luminaires, all the mast arms, all the poles, and all the foundations are going to be identical. Then item E, the Homer Township Highway Commissioner Special Needs Grant is going to ramp up again for 2023. I'm trying to send out a press release this month for that. Again, it's $5,000 for the winter, and we were going to have a dinner last year for it. We didn't have quite enough entrance to have that. Hopefully this year it'll be different. But if you know anyone that is over 18 years of age that lives in Homer Township that has special needs, please contact me or the road district so we can get them an application to try to pursue this grant. And that's everything I have. Happy New Year.
And thank you for cutting your taxes again.
Yes, you're welcome.
Now we'll go to the assessor's report, and I just want to say what a good job he's doing, you know, because he comes here and he goes through all this stuff, and he's not using a multiplier like people did in the past. He's actually figuring all this stuff out, so everyone's going to be assessed at the proper amount of money. So he needs to be commended for the work he did last year, and he's going to continue onward this year. Carm, do you want to?
Yeah, so, thanks, Steve. We are actually coming into a quadratic year, which is the 4th year of assessing. So what happens is, state statute mandates that we look at every single pin in the township and the village. So we will be reassessing most of the pins in the township to get a better valuation of where we're at. We're trying to avoid a multiplier. It looks like state put a 1.05 multiplier last year. We're looking at a 1.08. We are lower than most townships in the area, so that means our numbers are coming in pretty good. But we're hoping to get that reduced by, you know, providing the right assessments for the value of the homes in the area. And this is something that, you know, this office is very familiar with. It happens every quad. You know, Chicago's on every 3rd year. We're on every 4 year. Supervisor assessment's already released a lot of the information for general homestead exemptions. So they're actually ahead of the game, which is awesome. And it's kind of nice to see, and then that puts us in a good position to move forward. It's hard to do assessments on the quad because we wait for mapping, which we don't see until June. And that's when all the new subdivisions that are in the township come in. We're looking at 250 homes with Silo Bend. We're looking at another 48 homes with Old Oak, Village Old Oak. So we got a lot of properties that have been coming in the village, so we'll be reassessing all those too for the quad. And office staff is prepared. We've got a good agenda for the year, and I think we'll be sitting pretty good by the end of the year.
And you want to explain to them, you know, like when you have a multiplier, that's different than what the school boards did to us, raising the taxes, you know, over 5, a whole bunch. You know, the multiplier is a different thing. You want to explain what that does to your assessed value?
So the state looks at a sales ratio study, which is all the sales that happen in a certain area, and they look at countywide, and then they look at township-wide. So they break it down state, then it goes to county, then it goes to townships. So with us being in Will County, we're, you know, across the board, we're looking between 1.10% multiplier to a 1.7% multiplier. We're sitting at like 1.8. What that does is the sale ratio basically says is, listen, these home values have increased over the last year and a half. We all know they're looking at a 3-year comp. We all know that house's values have gone up, and what they're doing is they're trying to level that off to the assessed value of all the homes. And a lot of times when we come in at 33 1/3%, we may be a little bit under with the entire state because they have to equitanize the entire state. So everybody has to be equal at 33 1/3%. So to get that balance, they'll put a multiplier on because maybe this township's lower, that one's higher. So they try to equal everybody out at 33 1/3%, and that's where the multiplier comes in.
So
And it's very
you
helpful.
get that the multiplier is a severe problem because they're increasing your assessed value. So when the high school goes 6.44% on their levy, that means 6.44 on your assessed value. which is gonna go up because the state raised the multiplier. So I want everyone to understand what's happening. You're getting a double whammy, one from the state and one from the school districts. And all the school districts seem to have the idea they need to raise their taxes to the max, which is a shame because it's hurting everybody in Homer Township, Homer Glen, Lockport. Everybody that's involved is getting hurt. Okay.
Steve,
Now
can
we go to
you just
reports.
explain?
We had public forum, there's no more
No.
questions.
But the PINs, does that include ag, commercial,
Everything.
everything that has a PIN, everything?
Everything
Okay.
gets assessed, yeah.
Thank you. I
Land
just wanted
values,
to-
all, everything,
Thank you.
across the board.
Okay, trustee reports, Homer Township Volunteer Committee, trustee Bonomo, Cindy Laha, Clerk Bozen, trustee Garwin, and Collector Shake. They had a meeting,
We're missing Patty.
Patty
and
Colmar
Sherry Laha,
and,
Sherry Laha.
Angel
Sherry,
And
Sherry.
Sherry Laha,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought I said Sherry Laha, no.
We said Cindy, yeah.
Oh, Cindy
It's-
Laha.
Their names were omitted, yes.
Okay. Sherry Laha and
And Patty Homer,
Patty Colmar
Yeah.
and Vicky Bozen.
yeah, okay.
Okay, you want to report on what you guys doing? or-
Yeah, we had our first, as everyone knows, we realigned everything and created the Homer Township Volunteer Committee. And what we're going to be doing as we create activities for seniors or any other groups, we're going to create a coalition and work on it, as a group. And I'm proud to say that, we include village people, township people, residents, and with Sherry next door at the library board. We're having all different factions, different dynamics, and on top of the bingo and everything we did last year, we're going to add more activities. We're talking about doing a almost like a senior idol singing contest. We're going to do trivia night and other things. So we're in the midst of creating all that. We've set some dates, and we're going to advertise those on the website, as well as at the bingo where I'm sorry?
Educational?
And educational. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of educational events as well. Because at the bingo events and most others, I do bring in speakers. For example, tomorrow is our first bingo of the year, and I'm bringing in Meals on Wheels organization, and they're going to talk about the things that they do to help the community, and I wasn't even aware of some of the things that they do. For example, if someone needs a ride somewhere, they will send somebody out to give them a ride to the store. I never knew that existed, but we're going to give the community and the seniors an opportunity to hear what's available to them at any time. So again, with the help of everybody, it's been a great success, and we plan on it being a great year this year. And Mark Irwin, who's we've tag teamed on a lot of events, and Angel, and a few others. Couldn't ask for more help, and it's been great. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna, I think I got a typo. Is that
Mark Garwin?
Homerfest?
Yeah, he's gonna, just about the Homer Township portion of Homer Fest, he's gonna talk about.
A very short update.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
The work on Homerfest has begun under the direction of Village Trustee Fialco. There are 2 township trustees that are on that committee, Mike and myself. And we want to continue forward in the spirit of cooperation between the township and the village to make it, again, one of the best Homerfests. So next month, we'll have more to come. Dan, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, we're working together. We've got all the bands all lined up. The cooperation between the township and the village is like never before. We're adding a few things that incorporate both. Like Vicki said, we're going to have the pet event. That's going to be included. We're going to now have a senior day on Sunday. We've got a time slot that we're creating for that. So yes, in the sense of cooperation and the promise that we made to fix where we live and work together as between the township and the village like never before, we are accomplishing that. And I thank you guys for that.
Yeah, and I failed to mention the dates, Dan. June
You can-
22nd, June 23rd, 24th, 25th, Thursday.
Yeah,
Friday,
the
Saturday,
Thursday, the
Sunday.
22nd will be the fireworks night. So.
And the road district is entering in an IGA with the village to once again provide parking and access through the road district property.
Right, we're going for the 3, I now understand we're putting it together for 3 years this time instead
Yes.
of going back and
Yes.
forth every year. So that'll accomplish saving some time. Not only are you saving taxes, you're saving time. So thank you very much for that. That's a good one. Where you always save more time, Mr. Portfolio. So yes, we're off to a great start, and I believe that we're gonna have one of the best fests that we've had ever, hopefully, and it seems to be going in that direction. So thank you, everybody.
You know, one thing I want to add about Dan, his dedication to this is second to none, and organization and getting the right people in places to do the right thing. And I think he deserves a great,
Job,
great
Dan.
man.
Okay, trustee Rivera, do you have anything? How about Matt, you?
No, nothing.
Okay, the land use committee, we haven't met in a while because at the present time, there's nothing to meet about. There's no point in having a meeting just to have a meeting. So we're gonna move on to the Committee on Local Government Consolidation and Efficiency Act. And I was called by Nicole Laha, and she said that there's a whole bunch of people in the village that think that the township's trying to take over her committee, and it's nothing like that at all. The township got rid of the special needs committee at the township because the village has that committee already. So there's no need for two. And Nicole wanted to ask me to make it real clear that what people are saying is not true, that her committee exists, and ours is just part of the efficiency rule that the state of Illinois told us we had to do. Carmen, do you want to explain? You can say it better than me.
Yeah, so the efficiency rule
Well,
is
wait a
based.
minute, can we get into the meeting first, because we do have to go out of our current meeting and go into
Well,
the...
before we went into that, we can, I was going to explain it before we went.
Oh, you want to do it now?
Yeah.
Okay, it's up to you.
So
Go
the
ahead.
efficiency meeting is basically, it came down to say, we want to make sure that townships are efficient, they're working right. If there's any kind of consolidation efforts that you can put together, that's what this meeting is going to be about. We'll probably discuss it in a few minutes. But it's mandated down from the state, and we have to do a meeting once a year. And three times, right?
Mhm.
Three times a year, and this is our first one.
Correct.
So, yeah,
Yes,
there's a report
at the
required.
end, we'll go. make-
Yeah, I just wanted to make that clear to everybody.
So what-
We're gonna
Karen,
go
you guys
out of
wanna
here and
sit?
go into here now.
Right.
Right. So,
Okay,
okay, go ahead, sorry.
motion to, I need a motion to exit the township regular board meeting.
I'll motion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Now you gotta call it.
Okay, sorry, I gotta call the roll. Trustee Bonomo?
Yes.
Trustee Garwin?
Yes.
Trustee Rivera?
Yes.
Trustee Conley?
Yes.
Supervisor Ballich?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to enter the Committee on Local Government Consolidation and Efficiency Act.
No, I'll second it.
All right. Trustee Bonomo?
Yes.
Trustee Rivera?
Yes.
Trustee Conley?
Yes.
Trustee Garwin?
Yes.
Supervisor Ballich?
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, no one has signed in to speak? You gonna sign in?
Yeah.
And then if we can get Jim and Karen, if you guys want to come to the table here, because they are part of the committee, we have to have two people from the township to join us. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna give you these so you guys can follow along. Can you pass these down? Thanks.
Sure.
Okay, Rose
Can you pass these down,
Reiners would like to make a comment.
I think the confusion lies with, I've received a few phone calls myself about the Ability Awareness Committee and some of the other committees as well. And I think where the confusion lies is that the people feel, and it's not just, it's not just either the village or the township. It's a mixed group of people that feel that, number one, they feel like they're not a part of the Ability Awareness Committee or any of the other committees with the village. So therefore, they're asking, if these are the services that are supposed to be provided by the township, why are they not allowed to participate in the meetings from the village? And basically what I've said is that anybody's allowed to come to the meetings. And basically there's a protocol that's followed every year, which should be followed, and I understand from Carmen that moving forward with the village, after an election, and when our new budget season starts in May, is when we will review the committees. So if there are people that want to join a committee within the village that are from the township, that they can do that. They're not gonna be a chair, they cannot be a chair, or they cannot be a co-chair, but they can volunteer to be a member of the committee. And it doesn't matter whether you're from the township or from the village. And I think that's where the confusion is coming in, because a lot of people feel that just because they're from the township and the village took over these meetings, that they're not allowed to participate. So that's the question that was
Yeah,
given to
and
me.
what happened is when Nicole took over that committee, she came to me and asked me how to be successful. And I explained to her that the biggest problem for this ability awareness or special needs, whatever you call it, isn't having a meeting. It's coming up with money to pay for programs. Now, the only way you're going to get money for programs without raising taxes, which none of us want on the village or the township, is to get grants and funding from other sources. So I explained to her that the best way to do that is to get the village up and running, include the township, and that would be to ask the supervisor from the township, which is me, if I have somebody I would recommend for the committee. And I did, and that's Brent, and they haven't really done that yet that I know of, but when she's not ready. But when she's ready, she'll ask Brent. Brent's already working with them on his grant from the road commission. Then I told her that she needs to contact Lockport City, Lockport Township, New Lenox City, and New Lenox Township. And then Orland, Lamont, the same thing. But you can't do it all at once, because if you do it all at once, you're going to fail because it'll be too big. So what you do is a little bit at a time, and then when you get enough of the cities involved, when you go for a grant, it's much easier to get grants and donations. And so that's kind of what the idea is, to make it successful. And I think Nicole's doing a good job, no problems with it. But I get where you're saying that people are like, well, the township used to have a special needs committee. But the township is, you know what, the only thing happened from the township special needs committee, we gave money to the 2 SRAs. Well, we're doing it anyway.
Right.
We don't need a committee to make a donation to the 2 SRAs based on the people that, from the township that go there. So it's almost like having a committee just so certain people can feel good that they're having a meeting and talking about it.
Well, I think one of the things that maybe we could work on is to let everybody know that they can be a part of these committees and that they can come to these committee meetings, because it is a collaboration of the township and the village. And I think that's, like I said, that's where the confusion is coming in, because people are feeling that the services, if they live within the township, that the services or anything that comes out of the village committee does not pertain to them. So, and I think we need to clarify.
I'm thanking you because this is on video and they're going to be able to hear what you said. I mean, but what you said is right.
Yeah.
You know, but that would be, I know that you can't have a committee with 26 people on it.
Right.
So there's a limit to who can be on the committee. You know, if you have, I don't know the number that she has on it, but let's just say she has 10 people or 12 people, that's already pushing it.
Well, I think what Carmen and I have discussed in the past is that we feel that you know, that there should be a protocol in place that every May, when we change over to the new budget year, is when we should review the committees.
Yeah.
And there should be a review of the people that are on the committees, if they would like to stay in the committees, or if they would like to get off the committees, or if there's anybody new. And, you know, people should be reapplying every year so that we can have some kind of a turnover, and we could have, you know, we could bring some new ideas, fresh perspectives in there. So I think that would, Carmen and I already talked about that, so that's something moving forward.
That's kind of what we just did with the
Yes,
event committee
exactly.
and the senior
Yeah.
committee. We kind of changed
Yeah.
it all around because,
Yeah.
you know, was time to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but thank you, Rosie, you're 100% on target.
Nice job, Rosie.
You know, well, really, she's hit it on the head, and that people are thinking
And
this,
I'm
so.
listening to what the people are telling me, and, you know, and I'm a trustee, so of course they send me emails and letters and messages, and so, you know, you want to be able to give an educated answer, but you also want to be able to include everybody as well. Because it's not right just that the village is inside the township, so.
So if anybody calls us, we'll just tell them, you have to get a hold of the chair of the
Yeah.
committee from the village. And, you know, go forward, but
Yeah.
you hit it right on the head. And I think what it is, people just don't, you know, they're working all day. And,
True.
you know, they come
Yeah.
home and a lot of people
Yeah.
don't know the difference between township and village anyway.
Well, I have referred some people to Brand Portfolio as well, because there are a lot of people, a lot of families in the village that have adult handicapped children, or handicapped adults.
And that
And-
thing's a
And
great
that's why,
thing.
yeah, and I have referred them to him because, you know, they're like, well, what do you know, we're trying to look for a program, we're trying to look for this, and I said, you know, you've got this guy right here, he's right at your fingertips, he'd be more than happy to sit down and talk to you. So, you know, that's kind of where we're at, so. I mean, I have tried to help Nicole with as much as I possibly could, but I'm on 5 committees already. So it's tough.
Dan, you had something?
We need to keep something in mind, that the Ability Awareness Committee, their first year was last year. So this transition between having something new and something that's already been established for many years, the township, by state statute, is responsible for seniors and that type of stuff, or for ability, well, for anything to do with wheelchairs, handicap stuff. And so I think the transition of combining the two, it's taken a little bit of time, and you're gonna run into some bumps. I don't think it's that anybody wants to leave anybody out or anything, but I think there's a small learning process that it had to go through, since Ability Awareness's first year was last year. And now we kind of get to see collectively, between township and village, how we can work together, right? And now making those changes like Rose has suggested, and things to look at now, I think we're headed in the right direction.
You're right on target, Dan. That's what I said when I was saying before. She asked me how to be successful, and I told her, you can't just say, okay, everybody come. You know, you gotta do like you just said, you have to take it in increments where, you know, they gotta see how it plays. And it, like you said, first year, God bless her. You guys are doing a great job with that.
Yeah, she's
You
doing
know,
a good job.
Nicole's doing a
She
good
really
job,
is,
you're
yeah.
doing a good job helping her.
Yeah.
Dan, I mean, I can't say anything but good stuff about you guys. So, Vicki, did you wanna,
Yeah, so just to move on, so if you look, so we did have public comments. D, discussion of township efficiency, and possible improvement. I did break it down to 4 areas, and I can go over each one, kind of what my thoughts were, and if anybody from the board has any additional comments. So in terms of seniors, the township has always taken care of our seniors, including hosting monthly meetings as well as events geared towards seniors. On occasion, we partner with or collaborate with the Village of Homer Glen to improve services such as the Senior Expo, so that's something that we did together. At this point, there is no duplication of services. We're working together. You guys don't have a senior committee, we do. So that's one of the efficiencies that I wanted to point out. And then additionally, leaving the seniors in the hands of the township, kind of what you're talking about, the ability awareness, we were able to serve a wider area of residents by leaving it with the township. So I think that's very important to leave that as an efficiency for us. Then with the IGA, utilizing other government bodies or municipalities for services which allow for cost-effective services to be performed, and it's a cost saving to taxpayers. So, for example, like sharing the bucket truck or whatever that we do
Yes.
between the village, that's a way for us to maintain efficiency, so we're not both owning the same products.
So hiring additional staff, buying extra equipment,
Right.
those are all efficiencies.
Right. And then community outreach events, collaborating again with the Village of Homer Glen on numerous events, including the Senior Expo, the Pet Fest, the parade, and volunteering for Homer Fest. That's something that we do as a community. Township offers services in much more cost-effective ways because we do have a smaller staff. Some of these services that we provide are handicap placards, the lending closet for medical equipment, senior housing, a notary, general assistance, and a voting location, including registering residents to vote. So that's another kind of efficiencies that we have. An analysis of whether consolidation should be an option with another unit of government. I think we've already done this, and this is the reason that we put on here, we have consolidated the ability awareness now. So the Village of Homer Glen is in charge of that. The highway department. Now the Village of Homer Glen has their own highway department, and they're able to service the streets of the Village of Homer Glen, where the city of Lockport now is in charge of Lockport, and then we just do our 20 miles for the township. So another definitely efficiency here. Parks, the Village of Homer Glen had parks, and we had parks. Now the parks are merged together, and we have one parks department, and that's at the Village of Homer Glen. So there's no, once again, no overlapping of services, a cost savings to the taxpayers. And that was kind of my whole comment with what we offer as an efficiency within the township. Does anybody from the board have any other comments regarding these efficiencies? No? Okay.
Well, I just got, go ahead.
No.
Birthday boy, go ahead.
No, I think it's great that we're able to work together. I mean, you know, I could call Dan on the phone at 10 o'clock if we talk about a township issue versus a village issue, whatever. Brent, I know, is on the phone with the, I mean, this is a we thing. I mean, the village and the township has worked well together. We're going to continue to do so, and the results are showing right now.
Right, thank you.
Generally speaking, like you said, for all these committees that exist, since Homer Glen is in its entirety is in the township, and Lockport and Lamont and Orland Park, just little slivers are. If there's any way that the committees in Homer Glen can cover the township because they have more resources, but have, like Rose said, people that represent the other towns, generally speaking, whatever the model is for the Ability Awareness Committee, they should use for some of the other committees. That's just my opinion.
Okay, well, in addition to doing this, we do have a survey here for everybody that's a Homer Township resident, that they are asking, the state is asking for these surveys to be passed out and for the Homer Township residents to fill them out before leaving the meeting. So if anybody is interested, it's here. It's a very general survey, and you're more than welcome to grab one and put your comments down that I can use that for. No, not yet. It's supposed to be at the meeting. They're supposed to fill that out at the meeting. Right, and you're supposed to comment on what we talked about specifically to the Efficiency Act on that. So if anybody's interested, you can grab one now and fill it out and make your comments. With that, I have nothing else, and if the board has nothing else, I'd like to entertain a motion to exit the Committee on Local Government Consolidation and Efficiency Act.
Motion. Second.
Okay.
Second motion.
And I'll take a roll call. I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were saying something. I thought you were-
No.
Trustee Bonomo?
Yes.
Trustee Garwin?
Yes.
Trustee
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Trustee Rivera?
Yes.
And you know,
Gotta get the rest of it.
I know, I just thought of that, Supervisor Balich and the, Jim Shake
Yes.
and Karen Rhodey.
Yes.
I'm a yes, too.
Yeah, I'm a yes too. Sorry.
You give it around.
Yes, you're right. Okay,
Anybody
thank
at
you.
the table?
Brent Porfilio,
Yes.
Carmen Morella, Angel Shake, Steve Balich. Yes, that's
Case
you.
is not on.
Mike Hazan.
Yeah,
Was
I'm
Angel
not
on
I'm not
that?
on the committee.
Yeah, I got Angel. And you, Steve, you're the last one to
Yeah.
say yes or no. Okay, okay. So motion passes.
Then you want to do a motion to go back to
Right.
regular session.
Gotcha. So now I will do a motion to go back into regular session. Let's see, first and a second, I need, who'd like to do?
Motion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. All right. Do I need to take a roll call? Roll call. All right, trustee Garwin,
Yes.
trustee Rivera.
Yes.
Trustee Conley. Trustee Bonomo.
Yes.
And Supervisor Howard. Okay, motion passes. We are now back into a regular session. Thank you, everyone.
Now I have a motion to approve all the bills for December 2022. Bounders Crossing Bond, Bounders Crossing General, General Assistance, Open Space, Park Developer Contribution, Park Town, Road and Bridge, and Equipment and Building.
I'll start the motion.
I'll second.
Sorry, redo. Who said
I'll
what?
start the motion.
I'll second.
Matt,
Okay, thank you. And I'll do a roll call. Trustee Benelmo.
Yes.
Trustee Conley.
Yes.
Trustee Rivera. Yes. Trustee Garwin.
Yes.
Supervisor Ballage.
yes.
Okay. And so, I'm sorry, but the line item transfer,
We already did.
we already did them, right? They were moved here. So sorry about that, guys. There's a little bit of confusion there.
Okay.
And-
There's no new business. Is there any old business?
No.
Nope. Okay, there's no executive session, so we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll start the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion passes.